Hello friends, I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today I'm just going to have a discussion, I think. It's something that's been on my mind, and although the timing is kind of odd right now, this hasn't really been inspired by recent events, if they're even still recent. I'm recording this a week or two ahead of posting, so maybe recent events aren't even a thing anymore, although I think they might turn back into a thing here after this video based on a follow-up that is supposed to be occurring this week, I think, from my planned release time here. But the topic on my mind here, and you probably saw in whatever I end up titling this is a new type of video for me. Usually I'm going to talk about a game, or if I do one of these videos, it's going to be like an eating after midnight where I just kind of pose a question and then nobody responds to me. But with this one, I feel like it might be a little longer. And like I said before, it's a topic that's been on my mind. But why are reviewers positive? And it seems to be a thing. And I don't even... people make it sound like that's a bad thing. You know, why aren't there... and there are negative reviews. Especially if you're a bigger content creator, you're going to have some more. And I'm hopefully I come around to this in my take here. But most of the time, yeah, you're going to put out positive reviews, positive content, positive creation, unless, obviously you're trying to get the clicks, get the views, whatever. You might put out something harshly negative. And that's kind of what triggered these recent events in the industry, the board game content creation industry, that is, to be specific, from the past, as I'm filming this, the past week or two, as this comes out, probably almost a month ago. But I believe it's probably still at least kind of fresh in the mind, and I don't want to address that situation at all specifically, only to address that the timing of me finally doing this video lines up a little bit with that topic, but it wasn't intentional outside of the fact that this seemed like an all right time to finally put this idea out there that I've had in my mind for a couple months, and I just never got around to filming it. But the idea is, why are reviewers always positive? For the most part, obviously, this isn't 100% everybody's positive. But generally, in the board game reviewing industry, content creators provide positive feedback. And I just want to give my thoughts as someone in the industry, even though I'm not anybody. I don't even know how many content creators out there know I exist. So to say I'm in that industry, it's a very humbling. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I'm not trying to say I'm with the big name people, but just to say I've been a year of doing this now, putting out board game content and trying to get myself in the community a little bit. I don't know how to say this without sounding negative. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I'm someone who creates content for board games, regardless of how many people follow me, I think is what I'm getting at. So, yes, I'm in that industry, but not to the extent of a lot of others. So, take my thoughts, my opinions with a grain of salt, as, a little tiny fish in a little pond. Even like board game content creation isn't even a big pond, so I'm not going to say that. But I'm a tiny fish in a tiny pond, and that's it. But I am in the pond. So with that said, I want to look at a couple different angles here. And the first off, in my opinion, why so many reviews sway towards positivity is, especially when you're in my realm, my acumen, in my I'm just going to be blunt, I guess, nobody sponsors me. I have not received a single hey from content, from from any publishers. Nobody out there knows who I am. I've messaged a few of them a couple times, but that, I was asking questions about their games or release dates or whatever. I know Jamie, at least I assume it was Jamie Stegmeyer, but it might not have been him. It might have been somebody else at Stonemeyer Games. Did comments on my Stonemeyer tier rank, that they enjoyed the video, but that's it. Me and Stonemeyer Games aren't having any back and forths. They aren't offering me any. I'm not getting anything, and I don't ask for anything. It feels weird for me to ask for things. I'm not getting review copies or pre-advanced please cover this. I'm not there yet. So from someone in my position, everything I cover has been purchased by myself or has been a gift from a friend and family, whatever the case is, and they purchased it. So I'm in a place where I'm not required to provide positive reviews. Nobody's saying, hey, please, don't say negative stuff about my game you're covering, because nobody even knows I'm covering their games. Nobody's asking me to cover their game. I'm doing it because I enjoy the game. And that's the thing. I'm going to do research 99% of the time before I purchase a game, unless it's purchased for me. I'm not going to purchase and cover and spend time on covering whatever a game I don't enjoy. And so, yes, most of my reviews are going to sway from neutral to positive, because at worst, a game I thought I would enjoy, I didn't enjoy as much. So it's just going to be a neutral, and my reviews average to a 7.5, I think, on BGG rating scale, and that's out of 10. And you'd think an average review would be a 5. But in honesty, other than some old school games or games I just absolutely don't enjoy, they're not rating below a 5. So there's not much I could cover in a negative light, and I've thought about covering a couple things, but I don't want to crap on hard work that somebody's put into a thing. That's, I guess, part 2 is, why would I spend... Somebody has put a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of love into creating something for us to enjoy. So even if I personally don't enjoy the game or don't like the whatever, I still don't want to poo-poo it. It's somebody's hard work went into it, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and there are people out there who do enjoy it. So even if I wanted to cover a game I don't like, and I'll throw it out there, I don't enjoy Munchkin. I mentioned it before, and I thought about doing a review of Munchkin and giving my thoughts, and I still might, but I'm still not going to really lean towards the negatives, because there are plenty of people out there who like the game. There are plenty of things in the game that people could like, and maybe I'd try to highlight them. Obviously, I would point out the things that didn't work for me and why I don't like it, but there's plenty of things that are a reason the game was made and a reason people could play it, could enjoy it, and I don't want to be a reason for a game to not get played and bought if you think it's something you would like. And I don't know. Negativity is just, I try not to be negative. I try to be realist, really. That's what I call myself. Yes, negative things exist. I will mention them as they exist, but I'm not going to try to, in my life or in creation, in whatever, in the way I am, I try not to focus too much on the positive or the negative, because I know everything's a pendulum and everything's got balance. And so I try not to find myself too high or too low in any situation. And maybe that's some of the military playing in too. You always got to plan for the worst and hope for the best. I don't know, but just that's something I try to bring to this as well. Is my general attitude is to just try to be real. Do I not like some things? Yes, I don't like some things. I might mention those things I don't like, but I'm also going to mention the things I did like, and try not to be too negative or too positive. So that's coming from my point of view. Coming from the point of view of why things might breed positive, is because especially a lot of the big content creators out there, if they're getting paid for content, it's basically, and I know this has been mentioned before, but that's basically an ad. Hey, we're paying you to put out a video about our game. Basically a commercial to YouTube or whatever the platform is, trying to get people to look at their game. And so just like every commercial out there, I don't know of any commercial that's going to say, hey, don't look at this product. So of course, those type of reviews are going to be positive, or at the very worst, neutral, because I would hope people aren't going to accept the money and the work of something they're just going to not be positive about. And I don't have any experience from that realm. But also the bigger, and this is where the negative ones could come out, and I've definitely seen Tom Vassell at the Dice Tower put out negative reviews, but even those are just usually clumped together like, here's a bunch of games you should avoid all at once in a 10-minute video. It's not even a long-term review. It's a, hey, this game wasn't good for these reasons, boom. But even that is probably something I wouldn't do, but I can't say I would never do, because I'm not in the position of getting boxes upon boxes of games to try out and play like Dice Tower does on a weekly, daily. I don't know. I'm not there, but I know they've got just hundreds of games that they go through, and they're not all going to be winners. They're not picking and choosing like I am. They're picking and choosing from those games, but they have more of a chance to play more of those negative games. But even then, I don't think they're going to waste a whole lot of time putting together the content for a game that was not good. So outside of those short hitters, hey, avoid this game, that just content that won't exist. So unless, and I guess this is going to lead into my final thought, I think, unless you specifically are just playing to the negativity for the clicks and the views and whatever, nobody wants to spend the time and effort on things they don't enjoy, and then to film it. Yes, I could see playing a game and not liking it and it having lots of reviews, and you want to try it again a couple more times to see maybe you just missed something on a play or had a bad play. That's not what I'm saying. So that time wasted on a game you don't enjoy, sure. I've played Munchkin a handful of times before I decided I don't really enjoy the game. It's not for me. But after that, like, how much more time are you going to spend to try to like it, or to put together a bunch of content just to poo-poo on it? So that's kind of my thoughts on why there's so much positivity in the industry, and people act like that's a bad thing. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. I think it's just a thing that happens due to the nature of the beast. Because of the time and effort and everything that's spent on providing content, you're going to want to provide and cover and do things that you enjoy, and not things you don't enjoy, unless you're just being that cynic who puts out that clickbaity, negative bias, whatever you want to call it, content. So that's my thoughts on why there's so much positivity in this realm: board game content creation, reviews, coverage, whatever you want to call it. And this, again, stemmed from just me reading or watching comments about all the positivity in the field. And so that sparked this idea in my mind to have this conversation in some form at some time. And I figured now, in light of everything going on, again, I don't want to get into that. I haven't even mentioned the specifics on purpose. But if you know, you know. And that's my take on my thoughts of why there's so much more positivity, and why I think the negativity happens but isn't as frequent. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my thoughts are wrong. It's just my opinion. Everything I've said in the last 15-ish minutes are just my thoughts and opinions in the now, and maybe disagree. I don't know. Maybe I'm not right in my thought, whatever it is, comment below if you've got thoughts on the matter. Try to keep it civil, I guess. But I'm willing to hear your feedback. I want your feedback on my thoughts. Maybe you could sway me to have a different opinion. I don't know. But that's all I have here. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I really do appreciate how my channel has grown a little bit in the last year or so. And so thanks for coming back if you're a returner. Thanks for subscribing if you just now subscribed. And I will see you next time with hopefully a little bit more board game specific content and a little bit lighter mood. Hopefully. Well, not that this was not a light mood, but this, I guess, was a heavier topic than normal. So we'll see what the next one has in store. Thanks for coming. Bye.